Hello and welcome to our first ever episode of Voice of the Breadline podcast.
Hi.
We are the podcast for the working class. We will be tackling everyday issues that us working class people face, and we will be trying to deal with the situation and get our voices out there to the powers that be.
We'd also like to help as many people as we can to get as much information out there as we can to everybody. Any way, shape, way or form we can help you, then we'll help you. But also join us and shout. Join us together. The more of us together, the harder it's going to be for the government to take us down.
And we would like, if you guys have any stories or any issues that you would like us to help you with, I'm able to track food anywhere in the country. So if you need community fridges, if you need social supermarkets, if you need pay-as-you-go cafes, food banks, anything like that, I'm able to track that. So obviously message me and I can track that for you. Obviously, if you would like to speak to us about your story and if we can get your story out there, but you're afraid to actually speak to people directly, you can speak to us and we can relay it via our podcast.
Yep.
I'm Sharon. This is my glamorous assistant. This is my glamorous assistant Ashley. And obviously today's episode is Eat and Eat.
Yep. Eat and Eat. I went to a march in Redcar 2 weeks ago, and the cost of living crisis is 54% increase on gas and electric. Now, I work full time, £9.50 an hour. What? You've put my wage up by 59%, 59p. Are you having a giraffe? Like, where's that going to hit us? I've got an £1,800 council tax bill. That didn't cover my cost of living.
No, especially when you think that MPs have given themselves £2,000 pay rise. So everybody else is getting 1.7%, which works out roughly 2-3 quid on maybe £1 an hour or whatever it is. And MPs are getting £2,000 pay rise, and they're already on £81,000. Average UK minister salary is 81,900 and something.
Does that include Richie Sunak's heated pool?
No, Rishi Sunak himself is worth 200 million.
So can I get my pool heated by Richie Sunak? Not that I've got a pool, obviously, but...
Can you imagine Rishi Sunak, right? You know that, I don't want you to work all day.
Work all day.
I don't want you to be my slave.
Yeah.
Can you imagine him going, shit, like...
I really can't imagine that, people. I'm sorry, like...
oh, scrap that. Oh, my God.
Sharon's gone a bit left here.
I'm going to get a bit crazy and just losing my mind. Anyway, back on topic.
Sorry. That's me.
No, Rishi Sunak, he should not be in charge of this country. He should not be in charge of our finances. He's a man that does not know anything.
But what I don't understand is, right, I work 40 hours a week, right, myself. I work my bastard arse off, pardon my French people, by the way, right, and I've got no pleasurable money left. It doesn't matter whether you work, whether you don't work anymore. It doesn't matter what you do. You're stuck. It doesn't matter. People on universal credit, I feel heartily for. I'm struggling. So, I mean, our universal credit must be even more so struggling.
But the crime here is people working 60, 70 hours a week and still struggling to pay their bills, still struggling to just the basics. It's not even bloody, I want to go bowling or I want to go cinema.
You can't
it's
do
not
it.
It's not even the luxury things like that. Like going to the cinema is a luxury. Going bowling is a luxury. It's entertainment. You don't actually bloody need the thing, right? But when people are working 60 hours a week and they're not able to heat their homes and they're not able to feed their kids and they're not able to do the basic flipping human rights, that is wrong. That is why me and you are here doing this.
Well, yeah, because there's obviously the last count last year was 2 in every 5 children were in poverty.
It's now 3 in every 5 children. It's gone up.
Up to now.
Yeah.
Up to now.
It went up first of April, it went up to 3 in every 5 kids. Before April, it was 2 in every 5, but now, with Rishi Sunak's ridiculous crap, it's gone up to 3 in every 5 children now. So well done, Rishi. You've put another 1.5 million children in poverty, and these are kids, by the way, Rishi. Some of them don't even have bloody carpet in their homes.
I watched a family, Sharon, where children actually were fighting over a bag of oranges. A bag of oranges? Are you having a laugh what you are doing to your own people? The next generation that have got to help build this country. You're depriving them, depriving children. That is disgusting.
It's not even that, though. I don't know if you guys are aware, but I am able to track food. So I put a post on Facebook saying, if you need help, I'll track social supermarkets, food banks, community fridges. Because the thing is, with community fridges and social supermarkets are you can pay £5 and you get 15 items a week that you're allowed. So you're allowed to pick out milk, butter, bread, all the fresh stuff, meat, all the fresh stuff you don't get when you go to a normal food bank. Because at a normal food bank you get tins and rice and pasta, whereas at a social supermarket or community fridge you get milk and all that sort of stuff, you know, the other stuff. So I put up a post saying, if you need me to help find any of this stuff, so you're not starving to death, please let me know. I had over 150 people message me within 7 days of this heat and eat situation happening. One of the most distressing things I heard was a guy that wanted to jump off a bridge because he couldn't feed his kids.
That's disgusting.
He lost his business during the fake lockdown. By the way, Rishi, remember fake lockdown?
Yeah, wait a minute. Is this the one they all partied in?
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot about that bit. On the £50 fine that day?
Yeah.
Out of taxpayers' money?
Yeah, the fake parties, the real parties, the fake lockdown, he lost his business. And just before, he'd lost his wife. So just before the country locked down in March, he'd lost his wife. So he was trying to recover from losing his wife, trying to sort out his childcare situation. He was still trying to run his small business. He was already, obviously, you know, financial difficulty a little bit because of his wife's funeral and he's, you know, losing his wife and going from 2 incomes down to 1. And then you guys decided to do a fake virus, fake lockdown, and he lost his business. And then he started trying to find a job, managed to find a job and everything, was just getting himself back on his feet, and then you locked down again.
But the thing is, Sharon, it's like...
And then heat and eat situation come in. And he said to me, he was on the phone to me, and I had to talk him off the edge of a bloody bridge, Rishi. And I'm not being funny, but that ain't my bloody job. And I'm not being funny, but that's not my job. And yet, we are the ones having to clear up your mess.
Well, it's like I wrote Peter Gibson, which is a local MP, for a lot of people within the Tees Valley. And basically, I asked Peter Gibson what he's going to do about the cost of living crisis, how he's going to help the children that are in poverty. And I find this really laughable, actually. He didn't answer my question at all.
This is hilarious.
Apparently, if you work, if both parents work, a child will grow up without poverty. 1, where's the employment to give work? 2, how can both parents work without any childcare? Because childcare is then going up through the roof, which therefore means you can't afford to bloody work. So it's a catch-22.
Economy 101.
Sorry.
Here's another bit of Economy 101. Rishi, let me give you an economy lesson. You're an ex-banker, so you should already know this shit. But I'll tell you. Right, how you get the economy back up and running, is instead of putting everybody in heat and eat, in raising the inflation on everything, making us all
everyone in poverty,
paying more, you give everybody tax breaks. Because I'll tell you how the working class work. You give us money in our pocket, we go out and spend it. So therefore, we have more money holidays. We will go to the shops. We will buy stuff. So therefore, the business gets back up and running. The holiday places get back up and running. All the business gets back up and running. Because we, the poor, that's what we do. We think, oh, we've got an extra £60. That means we're rich. So we've got to spend it.
We do. £60 to us, like, Richie Sunak, that would be like, 60 quid on a joint of meat to him. To us, £60.
Probably not even that. He probably spends £60 on a glass of wine.
Well, £60 to us could, at the minute, that could feed us for a month, if not longer. We're having, like, I don't like the idea of, like, there being no support out there. That so many people, I'm getting messages left, right and centre. How do I get help with my gas and electric? I've got no gas and electric. I've got my children, and I find that really, really hard. Like, I lived through Maggie Thatcher, like the later Maggie Thatcher, so I was quite lucky. But I did remember my mum having nothing, and we had to really pull back. I mean, Sharon, you were a lot earlier in the 80s, weren't you?
I remember, this is what annoys me, guys, because they're BSing you. They are BSing. They're BSing people.
What's that mean? Bullshit.
Yeah, this is what is annoying me, because they're blaming the war with Ukraine and Russia for the rising of the fuel prices, for the food going up.
Yeah, but hang on a minute. They're blaming Russia, the war in Ukraine and everything. But France and Germany have only done a 4% increase in their fuel. Yet we've done 54%. How is that fair? How does that make sense?
But what they're saying, what they're basically saying, because we get our gas from Russia.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. And stuff, that the fuel is going up, and then now I've just recently read an article today saying that our coal, we have no coal, we're not able to provide coal.
It's under our feet
for our steam trains or our fires or whatever the hell, and there's going to be an increase in that because there is no coal.
Is that a shortage?
Excuse me, we're in a little mining village in the north. So if we're in a mining village in the north and you're trying to tell us there's no coal, well, what the hell is below our feet then?
When Maggie Thatcher closed the pits, there was plenty to keep us going in Britain. Plenty. And now what? They want me to go to oil? Why? Because more money for them. What's next?
And the 80s, and as for the war in Ukraine, I forgot to say this.
Sorry.
As the war in Ukraine, right, they're using that, and they're saying that is the reason why everything's gone up. Let me tell you people something, right? My mum's probably going to kill me for this, and so is my brother, but and they're probably going to be on the phone and be having arguments with me, but this is what I have to say. Basically, I remember in the 80s, I was one of the poor families. We were one of the poor families. We grew up below the breadline. I grew up below the breadline. I had absolutely no money. I was sharing baths with my brothers. Every 3 days we were having a bath because we had no money for heating. Two of us would be in the bath at one time.
I remember that.
Jump out. Then the next, not without even rinsing the bathroom.
No, you weren't allowed. It was more soapy. The more that got in, the more soapier it got.
There was no rinsing the bath water. The next two would jump in.
It was rotten.
Wash with whatever water was there. It was dirty, but you still wash with it because you
had no choice.
You had no choice. You had no gas to heat up. No money to put on the gas to heat the next bath. Yeah, we would wash every 3 days. Yeah, because we had, and we went basic supermarket stuff. And I remember once, my brother's going to kill me for this.
Don't do that to him.
Because he could get arrested, but...
Well, it was back in the day, be all right now.
But I remember one time, my mum, we'd fled my dad, because my dad was violent. And I remember we'd gone into this flat. Our gyro was supposed to come through. It didn't come through. We had nothing to eat in the house whatsoever. And we were actually starving. We hadn't eaten for 3 days or 2 days or whatever it was. And I was complaining, my younger brothers were complaining, and my mum was like close to a breakdown because she was like, I've got kids, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. She was losing her mind because we were suffering. She was crying. She's like, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. I can't cope with this. And my brother was like, what's the matter? And she goes, oh, they're hungry. And my brother was like, give me like 5-10 minutes or whatever. And he went down the road, and four doors down, there was a middle class family, and they always got a milkman delivery every day or every 3 days or whatever it was. They got a delivery. He come back 10 minutes later, and he's got eggs, milk, and bread.
We're not encouraging people to steal, by the way, on that.
And my mum said, where did you get that from? And he said, oh, I nicked it from the middle class family down the road. And we used to wait. We waved past them. We ate their eggs, and we ate their bread, and we drank their milk. And we went out that afternoon to go to the park, and they was like, hello, because they knew us. We were like, hello, waving like nothing had happened. And they were like, oh, somebody stole our milk and stuff this morning. We're like, bad people in this area. Oh, I don't know who that would be.
I remember that though. I mean, my mum, when my mum and dad split up, a bit like yourself, we had, back in the 80s, we ended up where my mum wasn't working, we were a single family, and whatever we would put, if we didn't eat what was put in front of us, we would starve that night. There were 5 packets crisps counted out for the packed lunches for the week. There was 5 chocolate bars counted out for the week. There was no extra. There was nothing. There was no spares. There was nothing. My mum would get 1 pint of milk a day because she had, I don't know if it was milk tokens then or whatever, but we got 1 pint of milk a day. And then that was gone. That was gone. We literally had nothing. We didn't. The carpets we had out, there was nothing.
The thing was, the most horrible thing was when you used to, because you had no money, you'd go to school or you'd go to places in hand-me-downs, and you'd be smelling because you'd never had a bath every day. Like, you'd have a bath every 2-3 days because that's all you could afford to heat the water. And you used to have a bath every 3 days. Your hair was always dirty. You know, you always smelled, and you couldn't help it. And people used to pick on you. And this was in the 80s. And it's still going on. It's been going on since the 80s. And then there's documentaries online from the 90s. And then there's ones on there from 2008. And then 2016. And I was watching one the other day from 2017. And it was still in 2017.
But what like yourself?
So, and there was no war in 2017.
So my granddad back in the 80s, we were quite fortunate. My granddad had his own business. He had his own factory. Unfortunately, my granddad's lost his business and things due to a lot of, whatever. But like Sharon's saying, I remember going to middle school, and everyone had trainers on, as they do when you go into PE and things like that.
Designer.
Yeah, I had the school sun shoes. I got the piss ripped out of me. I had the proper hand-me-down knee length down to my arse.
I remember
skirts that didn't even fit.
I remember dressing in my older brother's clothes. I used to wear dungarees that were my older brother's, and I remember dressing as a turtle, and we would go around and we would entertain ourselves because nobody had any money. You'd have to entertain yourself. And I remember we had 4 different tea towels, and one was orange with white and orange, one was green and white, and then there was a different colour, a purple one or whatever. And me and my brothers actually pretended to be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and we went round and we climbed trees and we rescued cats, and that was a fun times. And you could go outside and you didn't have to worry about paedophiles. And you didn't have to worry about any of that stuff.
Now you've got now it's not just the case of like Sharon's saying, heat knee. We can't let our kids out because there's too many bloody paedophiles about. You can't. Then you've got to keep them in, or you want us to homeschool them. Right, we'll homeschool them. But then who's going to pay for the heating all the time? Who's going to pay for the electric all the time? You want us to work from home. Who's going to pay for the extra internet? Who's going to pay for the internet for the kids to be homeschooled? You want us to stop working when we've got COVID and play safe, you know, protect the society, but yet you're not allowing us to have sick pay for it anymore. So what are you doing? What are you actually playing at?
The thing is, as well, with this heat and eat situation.
Oh, I'm getting annoyed.
I know you're getting annoyed. That's why I stepped in, because the thing is, with this heat and eat situation, it's been going on since the 80s. Probably even before that. Probably before I was born, it was going on. But it only became relevant today because the middle class have been dragged into it. I spoke. One of the people I actually personally spoke to.
She hasn't got COVID, by the way.
Sorry, I haven't got COVID. I've got a cold. One of the people I actually spoke to was a police officer. Now, it's ridiculous when you've got police officers and teachers, which are considered middle class.
Nurses, by the way, that have worked all the way through this course, remember?
Middle class.
Yeah.
Using food banks.
They're starving.
They're contacting me, social workers, saying, I need help finding food or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And these people were middle class. And it's strange how since the 80s, when we were all crying out for the last 30 years,
for help,
we've been crying out. We've been saying, look, we're all below the poverty line. You need to be helping our kids. And nobody helped us. Nobody. And now teachers and police officers and other occupations are being dragged into it. Suddenly it's a big issue.
But the thing is, right, what I don't understand is it's like they won't allow anybody to get above that line of where, like you say, there's no support for anyone. Yeah, they're saying go and get a job, but then there's the childcare aspect. Then there's this aspect. They won't allow anyone to get over that threshold.
But that's how they control people.
It is how they control us.
It's how they control people. If you're not an elite, if you're not an elite, sorry, I have to explain these things to Ashley because she was very
I've been cotton wool.
Government of very, very trusting of the government and very had her jabby jabs.
Yeah, that man.
I woke her up. I've only been nagging.
Jabs and jabs.
I've only been nagging at her for 2 years about all this stuff. Anyway, what was I saying?
About the elite.
Oh yeah, the elites. Yeah, the way all this stuff is working is that I've got a fox hunting analogy, and
way to look at it.
I've explained it to Ashley. If you obviously working class, they don't normally understand the fox hunting. But what the government are actually doing now is each of these little things. So the jabs is one bite on a fox. We're all foxes, all the working class and the middle class at the moment. We're all foxes, right?
Taxpaying foxes.
We're all foxes, right? So every little thing that's going on is a bite to weaken a fox.
Which does, doesn't it?
Which is going to happen. So basically, if we're all foxes and you get bitten by a COVID jab, it takes a little bit of you away. If you are locked down, it takes a little bit of you away because it destroys your mental health. If a member of your family dies because of COVID or during lockdown, it takes another bit of you. So it's like a bite, yeah. So it's like you're being attacked, and you're a fox.
Yeah, it is.
And you're being attacked, and the people that are doing it, which are the government, are the hounds that attack the foxes, and it's like they're biting at you, and every little thing they're doing, they're trying to weaken you. And at the moment, the heat and eat situation is the bite to the legs.
It is, yeah.
Because we haven't fallen. We haven't fallen yet. The working class are stronger.
We are.
Than what they thought we are.
Yep.
And when they tried to divide us to the jabbed, unjabbed, vax, anti-vaxxers,
didn't work.
It didn't work. It did for a little bit, and then people woke up, and then the fox is still standing, and it hasn't given up, and it hasn't rolled over, and it hasn't died, and it hasn't said, oh, bite me in the throat,
I'm
howled or
gone.
whatever, or died. So now what they're doing, the war in Ukraine is to keep you in fear, which is a bite on one leg to see if you will kneel. If you don't kneel, because they bit you in the leg with the war.
Gas and electric prices.
Now, the other one to take out the other leg of one of the foxes, on the fox, is the heat and eat situation. And that is designed to make you so tired
You can't fight back
that you
anymore.
can't fight back. And then they're going to bring in the next phase.
Which is the blackout.
And the next phase is going to be blackouts, because this is all...
So can I recommend, me and Sharon, and I mean, I haven't been listening to it for 2 years, I must say, but now I have. Please, 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 honestly, from me as well, stock up on your matches, stock up on your candles, stock up on bottled water, stock up on your tins. Do the best, even if it's just a couple of extras you can get a week, people. I know it's hard. Anything we can get extra, go for it. And like Sharon says, we are both here to help as much as we can to help try and find these resources for people.
And the hunters in the hunting situation, the ones with the guns and the ones that like are ready to use the bullet against you as the hounds have wounded you, and gone for your throat, and you're laying there and you're trickling out the blood. The hunters are the elites. So as you're wounded and you're laying there because you've got no food, no thing, and you've got no energy to fight back, that's when they hold the gun to your head and they shoot you in the head and you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they're trying to do. It's like a hunting analogy, and this is what they're trying to do to us. And this is why we've set up this podcast, because we're trying to help you guys survive. We're trying to keep us together. We're trying to stand united.
If we unite together as one,
we stand.
If we don't, we'll fall. And I think tonight, I mean, that's what this first podcast is about. And I think that's a good starting point. So if anyone, I mean, we've been on here half an hour now. So if anybody wants to message for any questions, anything, please, please, please get in touch with either Sharon or myself, and we will answer your questions. We will relay your stories. We'll listen to your stories. We'll try and get them out there for you. We're quite happy to read them on here for you. Spread the message for us.
I just want to say another couple of things as well. Some of the people that I've been talking to. One woman, she had fled domestic violence. She lived miles and miles away from any friends or family, a bit like myself. She had a 5-year-old kid and she was struggling. She messaged me and she said, look, I've got £38. I've paid all my bills, my gas, electric. Oh, by the way, guys, just before I finish this story off, did you know TV licence isn't technically an essential bill, because it doesn't keep you warm and it doesn't feed you.
On life.
Doesn't feed you and it doesn't keep you warm. So technically, you shouldn't have to pay it. So if anything has to go out of your bills, you don't have to pay that.
Hang on, you don't have to pay it anyway. So listen, right? If you live stream, here's a bit of a trick, like if you live stream, then you're meant to pay it, right? But if you've got a Now TV box, anything like that, and you're not watching live TV, you are using your Now TV stick via the internet or whatever, you are technically, you do not need, I repeat, do not need a TV license. You need to go online and you click that you are using like Now TV or, you know, another device, and you will not be live streaming, and you get your license for free. So do that, people, and it stops the man knocking at the door.
And also, our next live, we're planning to, because I've got a long list of about 30 different things that you can like get for free, or that you're entitled to.
We both.
So we're going to be going through that. We're going to be working out which is for those that work, which is for those that are on benefits, which is both. And we're going to be going through it all and working out whether it's still relevant, because some of these lists are like 10 years old or whatever. And then we're going to be on our next one, we're going to be reading through it all, and we're going to be telling you what you can claim, what you can't claim, you know, what the rules are. whether you have to be on benefits, whether you can be on low income under 16 grand or whatever.
Yeah.
And we're going to be going through everything. Like, for example, you can get £49 emergency fuel voucher if you need it. It's normally through the food bank or Citizen Advice. Some suppliers will give it to you as well. It's called a fuel voucher, £49. You can apply for it, and then you don't have to pay it back. And it's basically, if you're on pay-as-you-go meter and you're completely screwed, and you don't have any money, and you're like, look, I'm completely screwed. They'll especially give it to you if you've got an under 5, but you don't have to have an under 5, but they'll still give it to you anyway. But because everybody's entitled to them. But you're more likely to get it if you've got an under 5, and you say, look, I've got kids or whatever. You know, I need it. I need my heating. I need my hot water. And that is in for if you've got fuck all money. You've got no money at all. And you're completely screwed. You can get this. And also, I just want to go back to the woman. The woman messaged me, had no money apart from £38. And she's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've got £38 last me a month. I'm completely screwed. I gave her, I said to her, message me where your location. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell anybody where you are, blah, blah, blah. I just use it to find the places. I found her a social supermarket. She paid £1 for 6 months membership of that social supermarket. She gets her membership card. She go there, they scan her membership card. She pays £5. They give her a basket. She gets 15 items. She goes through the till. They scan all the items out, and then she goes home and she can pick bread, milk, eggs, butter, all the fresh stuff that you don't get in a food bank. I said to her, go to a food bank as well, so you can get the rice and the pasta and all of that stuff from a food bank.
Yeah.
So that you can get the fresh stuff from the social supermarket, go to the food bank to get all the dried stuff, so then them two are working together. And I said, you'll be all right. And she thanked me. She messaged me a couple of days later and said, look, I've done what you've said, thank you so much. And another woman messaged me, and she had even less money. She had £10, and she said, I'm completely screwed. I've got 3 kids. The fuel is just eating my money. What the hell am I going to do? And she had £10 to last her 2 weeks. She was literally crying, and she's like, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. And I found her a social supermarket. Just give us a sec. Paid £3, and she gets £40 worth of shopping as well. And she was very happy with that. I found her a pay-as-you-go cafe as well, where you can just, if you can only afford 10p, you pay 10p, and then they'll give you dinner. The closing bit we want to do before, because Ashley's got to go, is the heat and eat thing isn't going to affect the MPs, because they can get £300 a month for their heating, and they can get £25 a day for food allowance. So because they can get that amount, it's not going to affect them. So they're not challenging Boris or anybody on this situation, because they're sitting in their nice warm home with their £300 a month, when the rest of us have either got to work or pay out of our benefits. And that £25 that they get for one day for for a meal out. So if they're having a meeting or whatever, they can claim £25 for that meeting, for that meal. They can claim £25. I can feed a family of 4 on one of their days' allowance of £25. I can feed a family of 4 on £25 a week, and they get that a day, and that is just on top of their wages of £81,000. And this is what the injustice of this country is. This is how so far removed from us, the working class, they are. And this is why we've had to set this up, because we have had enough now. I used to think, right, growing up, I used to think, why have I had, because I've been through the most... No. Yeah, I'll finish it off.
See you later, people.
Sorry, Ashley's got to go.
You'll have to lock the door.
Yeah, taxi's there. I used to think...
Thank you. Give me a minute.
Yeah, I used to think, why have I had the most ridiculous, bad things happen to me? Why has God chosen me to have the worst life because I haven't had an easy life. I've had a hard journey. I've had homelessness and everything in my life, and I used to think, why have I been through this journey? And I recently realised that I went through that journey so that I can be here with you guys today, so that we can be here with you guys today, and we can help you, and we can, all the stuff that I went through, the heat and eat situation, where I could track the food for you. I wouldn't be able to track the food for you guys if I hadn't been homeless, because that is how I learned where you find out where food is. If I hadn't been in that situation, I wouldn't be able to track food for you. If we hadn't been through the heating situation, both me and Ashley haven't been through heating situations, we wouldn't be able to tell you that you can get your £49 for free. We've been in that situation where both me and her have been in that situation where we've sat there and we've gone, we've got no food and we've got no money. What the fuck do we do? What the hell do we do? And basically, we've been screwed, and we then went to the citizen advice, explained everything to them, and they said to us, you can get a fuel voucher and you can get some food from the food bank. And that's where we learned that you can get a fuel voucher of £49. That's how we learned these things, because we've been in that situation and we've been in that step. And there have been times when we've both worked. I've worked 18 years of my life, and I've worked at non-stop 18 years. And when I stopped working, when I had to have a little man, going from having £2,000 a month down to £400 a month was a complete shock. And I was like, how am I supposed to live on that? How am I supposed to live on that? But I learned how to do it, and I learned how to budget, and I learned how to survive. And this is why, with people losing their businesses, people struggling, and things like that, this is why we're going to help you. We're going to help you get through it, and I'm going to teach you. I've got a cooking channel on YouTube called Tetley's Kitchen, which I'm currently live on. But we're going to teach you. I'm going to teach you on that channel how to feed a family of four on 25 to 30 quid a week, and we're going to teach you how to, what you can claim for, what you're eligible for, and then later on in our podcasts, once we've dealt with heat and eat, we will deal with the wages situation, and we will then deal with other issues that us, the working class, face daily. There's going to be obviously many situations that we face daily that isn't going to affect the people like the MPs and things like that. So it's not just going to be heat and eat. It's not just going to be me and her ranting. Just Ashley's very a little bit upset at the moment, but it's going to be everyday working issues that we face. There's going to be many things. We're going to discuss lockdowns, the impact it had on us, whether the government were right or wrong to lock down. We're going to be tackling the Partygate situation. We're going to be tackling many other people's situations. Everything that the working class faces, we're going to do it as it comes up. The stabbings in London, there's record numbers of stabbing in London at the moment, where one of our episodes we will be discussing that, because at the moment nothing is being addressed with regards to that, and the numbers just keep increasing. and basically how many more people have got to be stabbed on the streets of London before something is done about it. But that is going to be for another episode. So anyway, thank you for watching. Bye.